Different levels I cannot relate. You never win if you playing it safe. It's all a game until you get played.
Welcome to It's Culture Podcast. My name is Mark, and I'm the host of It's Culture Podcast. And tonight on the show, we got a lot going on. Trump met with the South African president and decided to give him a lecture on what was going on in South Africa. We have Ryan Clark and RG3. They've been going at it, and I don't like to see us do what happened, but we're going to talk about that. And this one here is real funny. A white guy walked into a bar with a bunch of black folks and started shouting out the N-word. And we're going to talk about that because what happened after he did it, it's part of that quote-unquote black fatigue, right? So we're going to talk about all those things tonight, y'all. But if you could do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you can get all updates, especially when I go live. And I want to thank everybody. We're over 14,000 subscribers. We are at 14,700 subscribers. I appreciate everybody. We're on our way to 15,000. So if you haven't subbed yet, hit that subscribe button. Help me get to 15,000. Help me get to 15,000. And then we're going to keep it going. Keep it going. I appreciate everybody for tuning in and rocking with me as I do these videos. Because you could be doing anything else with your life, but you are taking time out to, spend about 30 minutes with me every Thursday and Sunday night, and then tuning into the replay of the videos and when I break them down. So I appreciate everybody. When I started this channel, I didn't know what it was going to turn into, and it's turned into a nice little nation of people who chime in and send me stuff and send me articles to talk about. And I really, 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 really thank you all with the bottom of my heart. So let's get into it. As I was saying, South African president came into the United States, and he had a meeting with Trump. Now, as we know, the United States just took in a total of 80 South African Afrikaners over, last week, and these people came here because they said that there's some genocide going on, and this has been a thing that has been talked about. Hopefully I don't mess his name up, but President Cyril Ramaphosa, okay, that's the president of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa. He came with a little delegation from South Africa, and to basically talk about working and striking deals and being a trade partner with the United States. And as in typical fashion, Donald Trump, I guess he thought that he was going to be able to do what he did to President Zelensky when he came in to the White House asking for more funding to fight against Russia in that war. I guess he thought he was going to be able to, do this with the South African president and try to ambush him. But the South African president was ready, y'all. He was absolutely ready. So President Ramaphosa, you got my respect, man, because you showed up. So let's take a listen. Mind you, this is kind of long. I'm gonna be talking in between it. So let's get to it though.
What would it take for you to be convinced that there's no white genocide in South Africa?
So that was a reporter from South Africa, and she just asked Trump, basically, what is it going to take for you to believe that there is no white genocide going on in South Africa? Here's Trump's response.
Well, I can answer that for President. It's, for him, no, seriously.
I'd rather have him answer.
Yeah, I'd rather answer that. It will be.
Our president will respond to you.
Yeah, let me,
Thank you, Mr. President.
it will take President Trump listening to the voices of South Africans, some of whom are his good friends, like those who are here. When we have talks between us on the around a quiet table, it will take President Trump to listen to them. I'm not going to be repeating what I've been saying. I would say if there was Afrikaner farmer genocide, I can bet you these three gentlemen would not be here, including my Minister of Agriculture. He would not be with me.
So he says, if there's any white genocide going on, the businessmen that I just brought here that are Trump's friends, they wouldn't have came with me. And the Minister of Agriculture wouldn't have came with me. Why? Because these billionaires are white guys. So they looking, also Elon Musk is there too, but he's on the other side. He's not with them, with the South African delegation. He's on the other side. But the South African president just broke it down and said, hey, if that was the case, none of these guys would have came with me. Because even including the Minister of Agriculture, he wouldn't have showed up if there was a genocide going on. Let's go.
So it'll take him, President Trump, listening to their stories, to their perspective. That is the answer to your question.
But, Mr. President, I must say
President
that
Trump.
we have, wait. We have thousands of stories talking about it.
Sure.
And we have documentaries, we have news stories, and that. Is Natalie here, somebody here to turn that? I could show you a couple of things, and it has to be responded to.
Yeah.
All right. So after this, this is when Trump tried his ambush tactic. And they started showing some videos of the opposition party. You know, they saw some of the people saying, you know, kill the Boer and that whole movement. But they're not in power right now. So that's what Trump is talking about. They're seeing the stuff that the propaganda machine and stuff that some of the South African people, the people on the streets are saying. And even throughout the exchange, some of the billionaires started speaking and they said, hey, there is no genocide going on. There is no white genocide. It's crime. And the majority of the murders are happening in South Africa are black people. They're the black South Africans. They're the ones being killed. You know, so there's not this big, massive amount of fighting going on or killing going on of white South African farmers, the Afrikaneers, for you all to believe this. This is all fake news in a sense. So they keep going on. They show the videos. And then at the end, this is what the South African president had to say at the end.
Sure, we will clarify that because what you saw, the speeches that were being made, one, that is not government policy. We have a multi-party democracy in South Africa that allows people to express themselves, political parties to adhere to various policies, and in many cases, or in some cases, those policies do not go along with government policy. Our government policy is completely against what he was saying, even in the parliament. And they're a small minority party, which is allowed to exist in terms of our constitution.
But you do allow them to take land.
No.
You do allow them to take land.
Nobody can take land.
And then when they take the land, they kill the white farmer. And when they kill the white farmer, nothing happens to them.
No, there is
Nothing happens to
them.
them.
There is criminality in our country. People who do get killed, unfortunately through criminal activity, are not only white people. Majority of them are black people.
Yeah, and that's what he said. Majority of them are black people. When they get killed, the majority of them are black people. Now, Trump came back and said, well, the black people are not the farmers. Yeah, they are. They're farmers too. Not all the white people are the farmers. And so we have this small group of people who came here to the United States, and they came here because, you know, it's propaganda. It's just like being here. It's like you have the far right, you have the far left, and then you have the truth somewhere in the middle. You have extremists on the right, you got extremists on the left, and they say some of the craziest stuff. And if we are going to hold a government accountable for the things that people are saying, then what makes the United States any different? What makes the United States any different? We have people say shit online every single day in this country. Some of them are in politics. Say some of the most weirdest stuff. So we're going to hold the entire country government accountable for one person saying something? Or because there's a movement going on to rid the country of these people and take land? Because hell, we got terrorist organizations right here in the United States that roam free and do things, and there's no action getting done to them. There's no, they can march around and get permits and harass people and do all this stuff, and the police protect them. So who are we to sit up here and lecture another country's president on what's going on in his country, as if we are the people on the ground? It's our country, and South Africa is a state, and we're going to tell this man, hey, you the governor, we know what's going on. We don't know what's going on in South Africa. This man brought his delegation of white business owners, some of them are farmers, and they came there and said, ain't no genocide. And yet and still, we believe that there's a genocide. Why? Based on who? It's fake news. So I applaud the South African president for standing up for himself, because he didn't come in there and Trump tried to ambush him, and it didn't go the way that Trump thought it was going to do. He was very, very calculated. He didn't get into a shouting match, screaming match, and try to go back and forth, and didn't do that. No. He was very calm. He was very precise. I think maybe because South Africans speak English, so it's a lot easier than like maybe Vladimir Zelensky's interpretation, because it's not their language, so it might be some type of diction or rhetoric or grammar that he don't truly understand. So it's kind of like trying to put the words and and that's fine. But South Africa, they speak English, so he was very, very calculated and very, very precise and very, very direct, because he came there and said, hey, we come in here to trade. Right? We got a lot of agriculture. We got a lot of this. We're trying to build our infrastructure. We're trying to do some trade deals. We ain't got time to be talking about these farmers. Y'all want to let these people in your country? Fine, let them go. Yeah, hey, take on the refugees. But one thing that he did say that I applauded is that he said, it's funny that you all are taking in refugees from my country, but you're kicking other refugees from other countries out. That was interesting. That was an interesting point that he made throughout it, because it was an hour long. I chopped it up a little bit to give y'all some of the clips. But it was very, very, I think it was a good showing for South Africa. And I think that we as Americans have to understand that we don't know every single thing about what's going on in every single part of the world, and nor should we even try to assume that we do. And nor should we believe every single thing that we hear and see. In the age of AI, videos can get manipulated. Videos can get made, and it's not even a person. They have things that you can clone yourself and clone people. It's too much stuff going on. Too much misinformation. So if you're gonna shoot and you're gonna make salacious allegations about other countries and what's going on in their countries, you might want to have real hard evidence or proof, because these people are coming to do business, and they're not trying to hear all this. And we can't be lecturing people about what they should be doing with their country, where we got crazy crap going on in our country every single damn day that doesn't even get remotely looked at all. Doesn't get looked at, doesn't get it gets reported, doesn't get investigated. We got hate groups all around this country. They don't get arrested. They're not in prison. They're allowed to roam free. Some of them are in positions of power and police and government and everything else. They're allowed to roam free. So I'll be interested to see how this relationship with South Africa and the United States goes in the near future. I'll be curious to see how much more this kill the boar stuff is going to keep permeating, and how many more South African families are going to come, because, there's reports that it's like 50,000 families trying to come to the United States, and they didn't already plotted some of them down in Alabama. They're not going to put these South Africans in like they do when they drop off, everybody else. They put them in predominantly black communities. Nah, these South Africans are going to places where they can go farm and make money, and yeah, they about to get all types of reparation from our government. They about to get reparations from our government. So this is what your tax dollars are paying for. This is I guess this is winning, right? This is winning. Our tax dollars, we don't want to take care of one group of immigrants because they brown, but we'll take care of another group of immigrants because they white. That's what we're doing with a fake white genocide. Crazy world we live in. It is crazy. And it's so crazy that you had a guy, a white guy, in Mississippi, in Holly Springs, Mississippi, goes to a bar and wants to yell out the N-word. Wants to yell out the N-word inside of a bar with a bunch of black people. And I guess he thought that they were going to let it slide. So we're going to go down to the news. This is Fox 13 out of Memphis. This is Fox 13 out of Memphis. Across the bridge in Holly Springs, Mississippi. Let's take a listen.
Video surfaces of a man police say might have been a victim of a hate crime. This happened after officers say an intoxicated man walked into a Marshall County club and used the N-word when referring to the patrons.
Y'all heard that right. Y'all heard this right. They're saying that he is the victim of a hate crime, even though he walked into the bar antagonizing patrons using the N-word. Funny how this works, right?
Investigators say that the bar is also a problem spot. They say that they respond to it several times every weekend.
Fox 13's Daniel Wilkerson is live outside CJ's.
I don't understand why that was put in there. Nobody cares about what's going on with the bar. This situation is all about the guy himself.
Lounge on Memphis Street in Holly Springs. So Daniel, how is this man police are calling a victim?
Daryl and Darcy, good evening to you. Good evening to you at home. They say he didn't go to the hospital until today. He believes he may have a broken jaw. Meanwhile, CJ's Lounge is now closed. Police say that they were operating without a beer or a business license.
So this bar that they said they get multiple calls to weekly magically now doesn't have this business license and a bar license, but y'all didn't know this way ahead of time, even though y'all get called to come here weekly. Something don't seem right with that.
Holly Springs police say cell phone footage they provided to Fox 13 News shows a Tippah County man who has been stripped naked. They say the people who attacked him are seen pouring on him what investigators believe to be beer. Officers say seconds before, they hit, kicked, and stumped nearly every part of his body.
The guy walked in and he was very aggressive.
Miles Stone says he was at CJ's Lounge on Memphis Street late Saturday night into Sunday morning.
Other guys in the area was listening, trying to remain calm. We asked them, they asked for him to leave quietly.
But police say the man continued to call the patrons the N-word. Holly Springs police provided another video of the man outside the bar, speaking erratically, throwing what investigators believe to be gang signs.
When there was scuffling and stuff outside, he was still trying to fight. He still was saying the N-word, N-word. Man, F-U-Ns, F-U-Ns.
Officers say the attackers used poles and sticks to beat him.
So you don't think this is a problem spot?
I do not think. I think it's a positive spot.
But Holly Springs police disagree. The police chief estimates they've been to some 30 calls over the last 3 months CJ's has been open. They say there have been fights, guns found inside, and a man shot in the foot. The chief tells me they're pushing the district attorney to declare it a nuisance.
So now, this situation, even though they've had all these issues, a white guy gets his ass whooped, and all of a sudden now they want to shut the business down.
I'm not standing for anything like that. However, we have to live with our choices, and he made a choice by going into there aggressively, and he has to live with the choice he's made.
Exactly. This guy has to live with these choices that he made. You don't walk into a bar. You don't walk into a... Let me preface myself before I say this. I don't know what the hell this obsession with white people want to use the N-word. I see it all online. I see it on X. I see it on TikTok. Pierce Morgan had a whole show where he had Mark Lamont Hill on there and some white woman that said that she uses it all the time. And he tried to get her to say it on TV. And, Matt Walsh wants to say it. And just say it. Just say it. It's a freaking word. Okay? If you want to use the N-word, just say it. Just say it. Say it. Say it. Because chances are you probably saying it at home anyway. But you're not bold enough or you're not brash enough to say it in front of a group of black people. Because you know what the fuck is going to happen. You know what is going to happen. That word is a trigger. And for everybody that says, hey, you know what? They say it in their raps. 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 They say it in their lingo. They do it. They call each other that. Why can't we use it? Okay. Just go ahead. Go. Nobody's stopping you. This is a free country, right? This is the United States. You have freedom of speech. But that doesn't mean that you're not going to get consequences for it. There's not going to be consequences for it. This man sat up there and walked into the bar. He's already drunk and erratic, and he starts acting crazy. What you stumbling into the bar for? They kicked him out. And yet you still want to be out there, be hostile. You already know what time it is. Some people may have walked away and say, you know what, man, that dude drunk, man. He don't know what he's saying. Other folks ain't going for that. And especially in damn Mississippi of all places, with all the... Mississippi has one of the richest histories in racism, richest history of the state in racism. But it also has the highest propensity of black folks. And those people have been subjugated to environmental racism, physical torture by the police departments, lynchings, terroristic threats, bodies being found behind police departments, shallow graves, sodomy by the police department. You had a cop put a gun in a guy's mouth and shoot it. So you know the racial tensions in the state of Mississippi is all-time high. It's always on go in Mississippi. And you're going to waltz yourself into a establishment knowing that the patrons of this establishment are black, you're going to walk yourself right in there and yell out racial epithets and think that you're going to walk away safe. I don't get it. I don't understand it. But now he's the damn victim. This man used a racially charged language, but now he's a damn victim of a hate crime. And what makes it a hate crime? Because the people who whooped his ass were black. So I just want to make sure that I understand this correctly, right? I just want to make sure I understand this correctly. If the victim of if an altercation persists and the assailants that are involved in said incident happen to be of different races, then this is going to constitute a hate crime, potential hate crime, if violence insists. That's what we're doing. Is this the precedent that's being set? So, is this what we're doing? Is this the precedent? Is this the precedent that's being set? That I can come into your establishment, say the most vile things about a certain segment. Now, I guarantee you, if this guy had said this stuff to the Jewish community, it wouldn't be no hate crime, and he got beat down. I guarantee you that he wouldn't be no victim of no hate crime. He would be getting prosecuted for the hate crime, and they would say he's anti-Semitic. I promise you that. I promise you that. But because he can say all this stuff to black people, everything is good. You know, you can just say what you want to say about us. You can criticize, you can denigrate, you could be racist, you could be prejudiced, you could be biased, you could do all that shit to us. And when we say something about it, it's black fatigue. When we say something about it, it's black fatigue. You don't want to hear, you don't want to talk about race. Oh, I don't want to do that. But when you get your behind whooped and get held accountable, and all of a sudden now it's a hate crime. This should show black people, this should show us that we're not protected in this country at all. We got some rights, but we ain't got them all. If this guy can become a victim of a hate crime after doing this, we're in a world of damn trouble right now, people. And it's fine time that we wake up. It's time for us to wake up. They're doing this stuff to us in real time, and we are sitting here not saying anything. We damn sure ain't got no representation in political power that can speak to what's going on because they too chicken shit. So we're gonna have to save ourselves. We're gonna have to save ourselves. You're gonna have to protect your family and guard them. If you don't believe in 2A, you better start believing in 2A. That's all I'm gonna say. And then for my final topic tonight, I hate to see black men go back and forth at each other over a topic where it shouldn't even be a topic. I covered this the other day when I talked about Angel Reese and Ryan Clark, and I kind of mentioned what I kind of said RG3 kind of said some things in regards to how he felt. And in that video, I also said that I thought that he was wrong. And I'm going to say that again tonight because I do think he's wrong. Because in the context of what RG3 said at the beginning, there's no way in hell that you could come to that conclusion because we don't, unless you're a mind reader and stuff, you can't do that. You can't say that. And so tonight, I'm going to break down, we're going to watch it in real time because I think before I can give a full analysis on this situation, we got to listen to how this went down. So we're going to start with RG3. Now, this is the very first thing that RG3 said when he first started talking about Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark and the foul. Take a listen.
Guys, it's so obvious that Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark. If you don't know, let me inform you about what happened. Caitlin Clark committed a hard foul on Angel Reese as she was wide open for a free, easy layup. Routine play. Every one of you that's watching has heard your coach tell you, hey, we ain't gonna give them no easy points, no easy baskets in the paint, baby. So why do I think Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark? It could be the fact that Aaliyah Boston had to save Angel Reese from ending her career. This is a still shot. After the foul that Caitlin Clark put on Angel Reese tried to hit her. But if it wasn't for Aaliyah Boston putting her arms in the way, Angel Reese would not be playing basketball anymore because she was gonna sucker punch Caitlin Clark. Now you tell me a time when you've seen somebody get fouled on a basketball court in a professional league where they tried to almost sucker punch somebody that they were friends with because of a hard foul. I've seen LeBron James get fouled by Dwayne Wade, but it was a hard foul. LeBron didn't get up and try to smack him upside the head or hit him in the face from behind, but that's what Angel Reese did to Caitlin Clark. So where was this type of reaction last year when Angel Reese got chokeslammed by Alyssa Thomas of the Connecticut Sun? Y'all remember that? So after watching the play, I tweeted out, after watching Caitlin Clark's flagrant foul on Angel Reese and the aftermath, there is no way Angel Reese can continue the lie that she doesn't dislike Caitlin Clark. I know what hatred looks like. Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark. Not some basketball rivalry hate either. Hate.
All right. So y'all heard RG3. And that take is absolutely trash. It's absolutely trash. Trash. That's a trash take. Okay? It is a trash take. And I'm gonna explain why it's a trash take. But I want y'all to hear Ryan Clark. Ryan Clark, I want y'all to hear what he had to say because he kind of responded to this. Now, Ryan, I chopped this one up because it's longer than this. This is part of the Pivot podcast. Shout out to him and Fred Taylor and Shannon Crowder for that show. But this is Ryan Clark's response to what happened.
RG3 called what Angel Reese did hate. He said you could see the hate on her face for Caitlin Clark. I'm not really sure when we moved in to being able to read the expressions of a person and know their intent, know their character, know their perspective. But he does understand hate because I think he also understands the hate of self. When you look at the play, which is all we can speak to as professionals, all we can speak to as analysts, Angel Reese pushed one of her teammates. Caitlin Clark had a hard foul, which is part of basketball. I feel like it was assessed correctly. And Angel Reese's reaction is the sort of reaction you get in a situation when you feel like you took an intentionally hard foul. That's competitiveness. That's rivalry. That's not hate. And so now, though, when RG3 jumps on to the hate train or to the angry train, and now follows along with what we saw from Keith Olbermann, what we saw from Dave Portnoy, as they poured on to Angel Reese to make her the villain in Caitlin Clark's heroic or hero story. Right. The one thing we know about RG3 is he's not having conversations at his home about what Black women have to endure in this country, about what young Black women and athletes like Angel Reese have had to deal with being on the opposite side of Caitlin Clark's rise and ascension into stardom. Now, when you look at it, I think A'ja Wilson is the face of the league. A'ja Wilson is the best player in the league. Caitlin Clark is the most important player in the WNBA. And a ton of her fandom has come along with some racial bias or some racial pieces to why people love her so much. And so now, if you're RG3, when is the last time within your household you've had a conversation about what she's dealing with? You haven't been able to do that because in both of your marriages, you've been married to white women. You haven't had opportunities to have those conversations to educate you on what they're feeling, what Black women deal with, what they're seeing when they think of a young Angel Reese. And the whole time that he's mimicking Angel Reese and bobbing his head and moving his neck while he's doing this whole piece, his wife is in the back amening and clapping. And so to me, it's just another situation that now this young lady has to deal with. When I worked with RG3, he would make all of these sort of corny jokes about milk and how much he loved it and how important it was. And he always points out on social media the color of his wife's skin, as if the color of her skin is what makes her special, as if the color of her skin is what makes her a good wife. I've met the lady, I've had a conversation with her. Right. I think she's more than that. But it also leads to what Black women deal with a lot from Black men who have chose to date or marry outside of their race. They always feel like they have to go the extra mile to prop up the woman that they're married or the woman that they're with over Black women by denigrating Black women.
Yeah, he said a lot in that statement. He said a lot in that statement. And so much so that RG3, I guess he heard the part about his wife, and RG3 had a rebuttal to that. And this is what RG3 said. So take a listen.
Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy RG3, and I just wanted to get on here and talk to you guys because there's been a lot of buzz, a lot of conversations about my sports take that Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark, which was purely based in basketball. But I think all of you know there's a line in life that you just simply don't cross. Wives and children are always off limits, and Ryan Clark has sprinted past that line. Ryan Clark didn't like my sports take that Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark. And that's fine. It's okay. It's part of the game. Sports media, I'm going to have an opinion. This person might not agree with it. That person might not agree with it. But what you don't do is turn around and personally attack me and my family just because you don't agree with a sports opinion that is purely based off the sport.
Yeah. It wasn't based on that. It wasn't based on that. And Ryan had a rebuttal to that.
RG3 called,
you know what I'm saying?
With Angel Reese.
He did it, and I tell you what, I don't know what just happened, guys. It just my computer just jumped. I'm sorry, guys. But he said, bruh, you know what it is with me and you. I saved you the entire season on Monday Night Football. I urge people to let you be you, no matter how corny, how bad a teammate you were. I had your back. What did you do? Invite someone on your show you know I don't fool with to ask questions about me, and then hit me weeks later to tell me you gonna challenge one of my takes. You a phony, bro. One of the worst teammates I ever had, both on the field and in TV. You got to do what you got to do. I didn't attack your wife. I spoke on what you do on social media and TV. Like I said, I met your wife, and she seems like a lovely lady that was worth more than the color of her skin. You be good, bro. Now, let's get into this. Full disclosure, Ryan Clark is my fraternity brother. I'm a member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, just like Ryan Clark is. But I'm gonna give an unbiased opinion on this. I'm gonna give an unbiased opinion on this. Now I've already kind of prefaced how, RG3 was wrong. He was wrong. He was absolutely wrong for saying that he knows what hate looks like. How do you know what hate looks like? How are you going to sit up and say your take is about basketball? No, it's not. You say this girl hates her. When Magic and Bird were going at it, nobody said nothing. It was a rivalry. When Jordan was going at it with Isaiah, and they don't like each other, and nobody said, oh well, why don't they talk? Why don't Isaiah talk to Jordan? They were all stars on the same team. And then when it came to the dream team, Jordan said, I ain't doing it if y'all get Isaiah. That's how serious it was. They didn't like each other, and it was documented that they didn't like each other. Nobody had a problem with that. He said he had never seen dudes get up and want to squad, don't welcome to the W files happen all the time. They happen all the time. Now, I said it on my last show. I said I thought it was a regular foul, and I thought that Angel Reese overreacted. That's the truth. She overreacted. But I ain't say she hate Caitlyn. I think she gets tired of hearing this damn narrative because she can't have a story without it being attached to Caitlyn Clark. Every time she's in front of a camera, the journalist asking about Caitlyn Clark. Like, damn, I'm Angel Reese. Like, I can't have my own story. I can't have my own thing. It was a basketball play. Now, was it a cheap shot? Who knows? And all them cheap shots happen. They just had one last night. G.J. Carrington leveled Jessica Strawber from the last night in that game. Just absolutely just obliterated her and got up and was like, what you gonna do about it? And stood on business. Ain't nobody, I didn't see RG3 saying Dejanay just hates Jessica. You can see the hate. You didn't hear that. Not a tweet, not a nothing. But you want to jump on this bandwagon. And that's the problem that I have a problem with this whole situation is that you are stoking flames on a narrative and you know that because RG3 is a social media junkie. Okay? He eats, bleed. He's one of those guys that's always on social media. He gets all his takes from social media. So he's seeing the temperature. He sees what's going on. He understands the law of the land and he knows exactly what he's doing. He did not one time did he say anything about all the Indiana Fever, their team playing monkey jungle music while Angel Reese at the free throw line. They playing jungle music. And then people in there making monkey sounds to the point where the WNBA had to institute an investigation to find out what the hell happened there. He didn't mention that. And that goes to Ryan's point because he ain't having no conversations at home. Because when he actually did the whole entire thing when he was talking about Angel Reese hates, I just showed y'all a small clip, but his wife was in the back. She was in the back. She was in the back sitting on the couch with like a cup, like she was sipping tea, like and that is a nod to black women because the tea thing is a black woman's thing. I'm gonna sip my tea. I'm gonna get this tea. That's a black woman. That's a black woman thing. That's a culture thing. And you sitting up there and you mocking her, you doing the head wag, you doing the finger snaps, you doing all this stuff, you doing all this step it, fetch it shit. And then you get mad because this man said, I met your wife and she seems more than just the being a tall glass of milk. And this the weirdo stuff. And he tried to take these posts down, but social media, it lives forever. RG3, he did. This is how he has characterized his spouses, both of them. Oh, she tall glass of milk. Nestle Quick. Chocolate milk. She loves her chocolate milk. This is him. These are the things that he has said. So you objectify your wife. You have said these things online. RC comes out his mouth and just, elaborates on the fact that you not having these conversations because who are you having them with? Now, granted, Marcel is why they want to bring in the fact that Ryan Clark has a child with a white woman. But Ryan Clark was a teenager when that happened, and he's married to a black woman now. But I don't even think that even had anything to do with it because he didn't. It's not like RC was criticizing RG3. It wasn't like RC was criticizing RG3 for being married to a white woman. That wasn't what it was. That wasn't what he was saying. He was saying you're not having conversations about black issues at home, especially black women issues, because there's no black woman at home. So when you come out your mouth and you make these takes, you're sounding like Dave Portnoy. You're sounding like Clay Travis. You're sounding like all these people who like to stoke flames of hatred towards her. And she has been getting denigrated and basically harassed and attacked for the last 3 years. And for you as a black man to turn around and add on to this, it basically gives credence to what the hell they're saying. You said you knew that she hates her. Would you a mind reader now? And even if she does hate her, so what? It's basketball. Are they supposed to be all getting along? It's supposed to be a good kumbaya? What happened to being competitive? What, everybody got to be friends? Well, I forgot what era we in. We in the participation trophy era. Everybody gets a trophy. Everybody got to be friends. Or is it just in women's sports? They got to be friends. But men, we can just be, we can be brutes. We can fight each other. We can fight. We can fight fans. We can do all that. That's passion, right? That's passion, right? We can sock each other in the nuts. We can stomp on each other's stomachs. We can elbow each other. Oh, that's passion. Hard foul. Women, they're not allowed to do that. Why? They're playing the same sport, and it's physical. And yeah, like I said, I believe that Angel overreacted. I really do. But I also understand that they were getting their butt whooped, and she probably was just frustrated. And then all of a sudden, she like, dang, we getting our butt quick, and you just fouled me. Like, dang, y'all already kicking our ass. What the hell you fouling me hard for? And probably so, because do we not remember last year when she swiped down? Do we have to go back and play that one? When Angel swiped down on Caitlin Clark and everybody attacked the hell out of her ass for it? Did we forget that one? When it wasn't even a hard foul? Caitlin foul put it to the ground. And everybody attacked Angel for that. But Caitlin fouls her and it's, oh yeah, it's a basketball move. It's a basketball move. It's a basketball move. That's not what y'all was saying last year. That's not what y'all was saying last year. It was, oh my God, nobody likes Caitlin. Why they trying to beat her up? They're trying to get rid of the meal ticket. Everybody's attacking her. That was the narrative. Woe is me. Woe is me. But Angel is the villain for no reason. And she the champion. That's the crazy part. She actually won. Funny how this works. They criticizing the way she looks, criticizing her hair, criticizing her nails, criticizing her podcast, criticizing her development in the league. What? They want to compare them. Well, she's not the scorer that Caitlin is. But they don't even play the same damn position. She's not a point guard. She's a forward. All she does is get rebounds. And she getting her own rebounds. We didn't heard all this stuff, man. We didn't heard it all. And it's a shame that we got black men that are sitting out here that are agreeing with this crap and stoking the flames. And then you get mad. You get mad because he mentioned your wife. And then you say, oh, the wife and kids are off limits. Well, how about you start giving trash takes? How about you stop objectifying your wife and calling her milk? Because all he did was say what you said. And he actually gave your wife a compliment. He basically said that she's more than just her skin color. She seems like she's more than just her skin color, but you seem to be obsessed with it. That's all, because that's all you talk about. You don't talk about anything else she's doing. I mean, now he is. He was talking about her body bands, her butt bands and stuff like that. And he's been trying to clean the social media up, trying to go through X and delete all those posts that he made about about the milk post. He's trying to go back and try to clean all that stuff up because he know when he went back and looked, yes, this is what you've been saying. And your take was not about basketball. It was about somebody's personal feelings towards somebody else. That had nothing to do with basketball. Had nothing to do with basketball. You said, I know what hate looks like. That had nothing to do with basketball. If you would have said, hey, if he would have just left it at just a foul and said that, Angel seemed like she was about to try to if Aaliyah Boston didn't save her, Angel Reese could have possibly got thrown out the league because she probably was for the fight. Or it looked like it was about to be a fight until Aaliyah Boston broke it up. You could have left it at that. But you went to diagnosing someone's emotional, not emotional, but their feelings towards somebody else. You went to diagnose that, and you can't do that. You've never had a conversation with Angel. You've never interviewed Angel. You don't talk to Angel. You're not on the phone with her every single night to figure out how she's feeling. You probably don't know nobody in her entire inner circle. So how are you from afar going to diagnose somebody and then put that out and say that's a basketball take? No, that's a corny take. And it was trash because it's not rooted in anything. The one thing you can't do is think for a person, speak for a person, feel for a person, and know exactly what their intentions are. You can't do that. None of us have that ability. We could assume, and when you assume, we all know what that does. You can assume. That is it. But you cannot sit up here and read somebody's mind. None of us have that ability. Ain't none of us no X-Man. Okay, we ain't Professor Xavier. All right? So, but that's my time for the night, y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. This was a kind of a long one tonight. I just wanted to get that in. There will be no live show Sunday night. I'll just chop these videos up and just post those if you want to just see the clips individually. I will be in Memphis, Tennessee. I'm going to see my two older brothers and my older sister and all my nieces and my great nieces and nephews and have fun with the fam. Me and my son are road tripping it tomorrow. So there will be no live show on Sunday night, but I will be live. I will do a special live show on Memorial Day. So that would be at 8:00 on Memorial Day. So y'all can tune in then. But until then, Culture Nation, like, share, and subscribe. Smash that button. Help your boy out. And I will see you all Monday night. Let's keep it culture.